say hold up, cock my glizzy, bang, bang. I say hold up, cock my glizzy, bang, bang.
Oh, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to the one, the only NYYU. It is I, and I am him, Pete Simonetti, bringing you guys about 2 full hours of Yankee coverage, guys, because today there is a 6 p.m. deadline to get your Rule 5 eligible players on the 40-man roster, and we'll talk about that, but of course, we all know there is some other news out there that everybody wants to discuss. There is a bit of turmoil, misunderstanding, bada bingski, bada boomskis out there right now when it comes to Brian Cashman and Stanton. That's going to be interesting to talk about. And I am going to give my opinion on those. Guys, again, we got the voicemail line open. That is 804-592-6160. I have it pinned in the chat. 804-592-6160. First and foremost, DJ Steels with the super chat.
Thank you for being a friend.
Steele says, we stand for Yamamoto. What's up, Simonetti? How you doing? What's good, brother? Let me say hi to everybody in here right now. CJ Crow, Pizza Minetti. That's what they call me, Pizza Minetti, okay? Symbiote Venom. What's going on, my guy? Scott Wright, Angelo, how you doing? DJ Steels, Joshua Marrero, Philo, what up, fam? Zach G, Yuki Matsui, okay? Pictures in the chat, very nice. Damian Serrano, David, what's good, brother? How you doing? Anthony Medina, the one, the only Hirsch. What is going on? Patty Sinclair, how you doing? Scott Wright, Shane McNeil, MP. Devin Cerna, what's going on, brother? Jonathan Alvarez, Dave, how are you doing? Ryan, what's up, my brother? Truth always. What's good, brother? Gary, what's going on, Gary? Punjab Kings fan, the Great Dane, who is going to be joining us momentarily. Raymond, Anthony Garcia, what is going on, everybody? Desiree Conrad, how you doing? Unpop, what's up, Pop? Joe Schoen Train, how you doing? Foxy, how you doing, Foxy? Foxy, Smacky the Likey, Hitty the Subby, like Domingo. Johnny, what's going on? MIA, Bronx Bomber 86. How you doing, fam? And guys, look, you know I got my
cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time.
I'm ready to get pumped today, folks. I'm ready to rock and roll. How you doing? Johnny Almonte, what's up, brother? Guys, so let's get right into it. All right, we got to start with the big story of the day, and this is the beef that is going on right now with Stanton's agent, Brian Cashman, okay? So let's do this the right way. Let's look at each conversation, all right? Let's go ahead and switch on over Here we go. We're going to switch on over because I want to be fair. I want to do this the right way. Like I said before, I think that's the only way to do this. Here is Brian Cashman's comments. We try to limit the time he's down. General Manager Brian Cashman told Gary Phillips of the New York Daily News on Monday. And I remember hearing this live, and it kind of just went over my head because I'm like, he's correct. But let me talk before anybody screams at me. Let me talk. But I'm not going to tell you he's going to play every game next year because he's not. He's going to wind up getting hurt again, more likely than not, because it seems to be part of his game. But I know that when he's right and he's healthy, other than his past year, the guy's a great hitter and has been for a long time. Now, folks, before we get into the rebuttal from his agent and all that other stuff, I just want to start here for a second. And I want to say he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Brian Cashman is indeed correct. He's not wrong about what he said. Where Brian Cashman is wrong is that you haven't done it with the other players. Mind you, this New York Yankees team has more injuries than a retirement home year in and year out. Be accountable to everybody. And this is why I love that I do YouTube the way I do and the way NYYU is the way it is. Because some of you can go, but Pete, you want him to be accountable, don't you? Yes. You're proving my point. Let me go back to another situation that happened. Let me pull up a tweet for you. And you guys remember this video I made when I went in on Aaron Boone for having the balls in spring training to shit on Peraza. Here is the issue. In spring training, when Boone shit on Peraza, I called it out because if you are going to do that with him, I expected across the board accountability. Accountability, something the New York Yankees do not have. Even if Cashman is right, which he is, he's not wrong, he is right. It needs to be across the board. Folks, Brian Cashman is the guy who brought the players in. You have created this roster. You, Mr. Cashman, have created this roster. You put these guys here. You have conducted a roster that is full of injury-prone players, to the fact that you will go ahead and put your back against the wall and fight off everybody that's coming to say, but Joey Gallo went elsewhere. Josh Donaldson got picked up elsewhere. So did Sonny Gray. You will defend your mistakes, but you can't sit there and just call it like it is with everybody. Accountability, even for yourself, Mr. Cashman. This is why New Yorkers in general are easy to call out bullshit. And yes, I appreciate Brian Cashman for telling the truth. I'm okay with him saying, let's be honest, folks. When Stanton he's gonna miss time. We know G is gonna miss time. No doubt about it. We all know that. I could put a poll in the chat right now and 100% is gonna say, yeah, he's gonna miss time. We truly believe Stanton's going to miss time. He's not wrong. Fact of the matter is, you guys have created this atmosphere and this culture of zero accountability across the board. And it doesn't go like that. That is not the way this shit goes. If you're going to do that, we simply ask that you do it across the board. You do it for everybody. You speak it into existence about everybody on your club. That's simple. That's all we want. That's all we want. Jason, my brother, how you doing? He goes, how you doing, Pete? And the NYYU fam, excited for the announcement for all the wonderful things for 2024. NYYU to the moon. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Joe Schoen Train, hey, Pete, do you think Yankees could still get Yamamoto after this turmoil? I'm about to get into that. We're going to talk about that right now. Yankees farm with a great comment just now. And if you guys are not subscribed to Yankee Farm, do me a favor and go subscribe right now. Stanton has missed 45% of the games since he came to New York. Brian Cashman isn't wrong. Fact of the matter is, though, Cash, you have to do a better job on expressing that. And he tried. He started off well. We got to figure out how to keep this guy on the field. We believe there's a chance he could be injured. But we need to work around that because he is very important to our lineup. That simple. Case closed. We're done. So, why this is taking, this happened on Monday, why this is taking such a major push now in Yankee land is because Joel Wolf, the agent of Stanton, who is also representing Yoshinobu Yamamoto, came out today and had a pushback. Let's go ahead and cut to that. Ken Rosenthal posts, Giancarlo Stanton's agent Joel Wolf responds to Brian Cashman. I read the context of the entire interview. I think it's a good reminder for all free agents considering signing in New York, both foreign and domestic. That's a play for that team. You've got to be made of Teflon, both mentally and physically, because you can never let your guard down, even in the off season. All right? What did you guys pick up in this? Both foreign and domestic. Joel Wolf already knows that the New York Yankees certainly want to add the name Yamamoto into their rotation. Now, guys, there's also a saying, money talks and bullshit walks. Let me tell you something about Joel Wolf real quick, okay? I'm going to tell you guys something about Joel Wolf, okay? He did his best here to say, there's a guy that, Cash, that you also want here. I could also be an asshole. But let me tell you something Joel Wolf can do. It ain't going to make a difference. It ain't going to make a difference. I see people now, there's no way Yamamoto signs with the Yankees now. No, there's no way the Yankees get him because of that damn Cashman's comments on Stanton. Folks, it don't mean two dicks. It don't mean jack squat. You know what it means? It means ugats. It means ugats. It has nothing to do with Cashman. Zero. If the Mets come through and go 205, the Yankees come through and go 208, he's signing with the Yankees. Wolf is saying, pony up. Bring me my money. Bring me my money. Let's make a deal. Sign it up. That's what he's saying. It's all about the money, folks. This has nothing to do. I see people going, oh, Joel Wolf, he's not going to let Yamamoto go to the Yankees. He don't have say in that. He don't have say in where Yamamoto goes. He's his representation. Yamamoto looks at him and goes, I want to play for the New York Yankees. Guess what his job is to do? Get a deal with the New York Yankees. If Yamamoto sits there and goes, hey, look, I understand you got to have thick skin. It's a tough place to play. I understand it. I get that. You want to sign with the New York Yankees. Yeah, I want to sign with the Yankees. I got to go get a deal done with the New York Yankees. We got 45 days to strike a deal. I want to be a New York Yankee. Bada bing, bada boom, sign me up. That's the way it gets done, folks. It's all about money. It's all about the money. I get it. I understand people, are figuring out ways to make this a bigger deal and all that. I get it. I understand it. It's not as big as a deal as some people are trying to make it seem. It's not, folks. It's certainly not. It's certainly not. It's not. This is the smartest. This is again, the agent is there to make money. If the Yankees are going to be the highest bidder, guys, it ain't going to make a difference. It ain't going to make one difference in the world. And like I told you guys before, our voicemail line is indeed wide open for you guys. So do me a favor, drop a voicemail whenever you guys like. Again, that number is 804-592-6160. I do have a few voicemails to already get to. I will get to that one moment. Matter of fact, before we move into the San Diego conversation that I certainly want to have a chance to talk about, let's go ahead and get to our first voicemail of the day. And here we go.
Listen, I'm hurting all over for 5 years at least. I've been hurting. And the reason why I'm hurting, I am looking at the general manager and I'm looking at the coach.
Okay.
Why are they still there? This is my only chance of voicing how I feel. It hurts. And I know a lot of people around me that is hurting as well. This man, he's run out of ideas. They need to change him. You cannot fire the owner because they're the one that writes the checks.
Correct.
But Cashman, he's got to go. He has no ideas left. You notice every time that there's someone there that the Yankees should get, he waits and he waits and he waits until someone rushed in and grab him. Every good player that the Yankee needs. Look back from, I don't remember the guy's name, but they got a guy from Boston Red Sox, and they just had him paying him a lot of money over the years. Donaldson, they just pay him money. There's other guys that comes in and they can't get rid of him. I call Stanton, I call him Bam Bam. And I don't know if that I'm being fair on him, but that's the way I look at it. This man is just like putting money into a furnace.
Okay.
They have to let Bam Bam go.
Stanton's Bam Bam, okay.
He's got to go. And that's how frustrated it is because every year for the past 5 or 8 years, it's the same thing. This guy is just throwing money out of the window and it's just blowing away. He's got to go. You got to get someone in there with ideas. The last thing, I wanted to take up all this time because I'm frustrated. The last thing I'm going to say, baseball, part of baseball is bunting. And the Yankees, they keep living and dying by going for home runs. Even people who cannot even hit home runs try to hit home runs to impress people. Play the game the way it's supposed to be. When you have to bunt, bunt. If you don't have to bunt, don't bunt. My name is Lorenzo. A frustrated Lorenzo, and I'm sorry I've taken up your time, but that's how I feel. Au revoir. Have a nice day.
Appreciate you, Lorenzo. Thank you, man. Look, every Yankee fan has every single right in the world to be upset. And every Yankee fan should understand why other Yankee fans are upset. I completely understand it. I get it. I get why Yankee fans are mad. They should be. This is an off season where it's gone. Everything so far has gone wrong for the New York Yankees. There's not much that Steinbrenner and Cashman could say to make Yankee fans feel good about going into the offseason, about going into getting moves made and things of that nature. Jonathan Alvarez, what's good, brother? Landis, how you doing? There's not much that could be said. There's not much that could be done during that time. But the problem is they've certainly made it worse. They've certainly made it worse. These are things that have not been needed to become stories have become stories because what a poor job they both did in their interviews. With the constant defense of who they are and what they're doing and things working and so on and so forth. Process is good. Our guys are good. Nothing is wrong. Injuries, blah, blah, blah. They don't understand and comprehend what the Yankee fans simply ask from them and want to see from them. They don't understand it. They don't comprehend it. Yankee fans are very, very simple, and I wish I could just talk to Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner and go, guys, look, before you go out there and talk to anybody, remember two things. Do not defend the moves that have not worked. Simply go out there and say they did not work. We had an understanding that wasn't working, that didn't work the way we thought it would. We thought this player would have worked here and here. It did not work that way. We are making constant adjustments to figure out what went wrong, what did we not see, what department was off on this, and we're making adjustments as we go. You're much better off saying that and saying, hey, everything is fine. Other teams picked these guys up. Other teams picked them up, so it's okay. That's ridiculous.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best.
DJ Steele says, I'm upset because there's no chicken tenders in McDonald's anymore. I miss them sons of bitches. Hold on a second. There's not chicken tenders at McDonald's? You mean chicken... Wait. Okay, they don't do chicken tendies no more, but they do the nuggets still. They gotta have the nuggets. I mean, but, for me... it's chicken tendies all day. If you guys want to throw a couple chicken tendies in the chat, go right ahead. Go right ahead and put those damn chicken tendies in there, okay? All right. Mac Miles says the McRib is back. Okay. A little McRib. Let's get to another voicemail from everybody's favorite guy, Simon.
Pete, your boy Simon calling from New Haven, Connecticut, Bella Vista. How you doing?
Yo.
So this thing with Stanton and Cashman, you know who John Carlos Stanton reminds me of, Pete? I don't know if you know this guy or not, but you remember that schmuck Cespedes for the Mets? The guy gets hurt playing baseball. Instead of staying on the disabled list, he goes and plays golf. And then when the media gets on his case, he sort of attacks him. I ain't talking to anyone. That's what Stanton reminds me of. I mean, John Carlos Stanton has to understand, all right? When you come to this team, you have to produce. If you fail to produce, the fans and the media are going to get on you. If you can't deal with it, then, leave. Stan does have some good moments, but, if he can't deal with the pressure, he should leave, and we can get somebody else for DH. But he sort of reminds me of that schmuck Cespedes from the Mets. What do you think, Pete? Have a great day. Bye. And judges gift from God.
No, man, look, I think Stanton understands he needs to be better, man. One thing about Stanton is he's been accountable. Look, man, I don't think Stanton's happy hitting under 200. I don't think Stanton's happy with what his last two seasons has looked like. I don't think he's excited about that. I don't think he's jumping up and down for joy going, hey, guys, I'm better than this. It's your guys' fault. I don't think Stanton is putting blame on anybody. I don't think he's doing that. I don't think he's pointing blame. I don't think Stanton's ever done that. I think Stanton has blamed himself. I have to be better. I know they expect more from me. I don't think Yankee fans are the reason why Stanton's been bad. I don't think any of that. I think Stanton's just beat up. I think Stanton's just beat up. I think the legs are a bit shot. I think he's just he's beat up at this point in his career. You can look at the way the guy plays. I think there's a lot of problems with Stanton right now, and it's his health. It's his health. These are 2 years in a row now, and let me just give somebody something. If you want a spoiler alert, time goes forward. It doesn't go backwards. Stanton's getting older. It's not getting younger. Why would we expect it to be better? L.I. Yankee King. Cashman picked the wrong offseason to do a SMD tour. Yeah, he basically did do it wrong. No doubt about it. He definitely did. He should have picked a different time, put it that way. He should have definitely picked a different time to do that. No doubt about it. He should have picked a different time because this wasn't the right time to do it. This definitely is not the right time to do it. But let's go ahead and talk about something obviously sad that happened today. You never want to talk about this. But San Diego Padres owner, chairman and owner Peter Seidler, passed away today in San Diego, 63 years old for Peter. I seen him on a couple of things. I don't know if there was, a sick thing going on there or something like that. I don't know what was going on there, but very, very sad. He was extremely well-liked around Major League Baseball. I mean, very well-liked. You hear a lot of what people said, that he didn't like the idea that, the Padres were never... He was battling cancer. I didn't know that, Yankees Farm. Thank you guys for telling me. So, again, cancer is something that I think everybody can relate to, because just about everybody has lost somebody that we love and know due to cancer. And it's a horrible, horrible thing that takes way too many people. And as a young man, 63 years old in today's time, man, it's a sad thing, no doubt about it. But, he put a lot into trying to get the Padres to win. Maybe a lot of that had to do with, a lot of the money and the stuff he's been spending. Maybe a lot of that had to do with, I want to win. I want to try to get that championship. I want to try to deliver something like that to San Diego. And unfortunately, that did not go the way that the Padres wanted. And now they're a little bit in the spot of, who do we move? What do we move? How do we get the salary down a bit?
Thank you for being a friend.
Victor, I appreciate you, brother. He goes, Cashman better stay away from trades and signing this offseason. I've got faith in Levine. Stanton's numbers against fastballs dipped drastically. Well, it was clear as day that he couldn't catch up the stuff. But look, man, at the end of the day, Cashman's going to be the one making the moves. No doubt about it. Cashman's going to be the one making the moves. He's going to be doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? So to sit there and say you hope that Levine is the guy doing it, Levine might have a little bit of, say, but it ain't going to be nothing crazy. Randy Levine ain't doing nothing crazy like that. But I want to bring this up too. This is from retweeted and shared out from our friend Mario. Shout out to Mario, of course. But this is shared by Mario. This is Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan came out today and basically said, out of all of the teams that are involved in a deal for Soto, they want starting pitching. This is something that we've been telling you guys for a while now. And he says the team that makes the most sense are the New York Yankees. He says the teams rich in starting pitching include the Yankees, Clark Schmidt, Drew Thorpe, and Chase Hampton are names he mentions. The Cubs and the Mariners. I'll talk to you guys a little about the Mariners. I got some information on them. But they're not going to move George Kirby. They're not going to move Logan Gilbert. And they really want to try to stick with Wu and Miller. There's another kid, Hancock, on the Mariners that is also a possibility to go in a deal. Michael King, I think, would also be involved in that when it comes to the Yankees, no question. But at the end of the day, this is why A lot of people feel like if he does become ultimately available and there are conversations more with the understanding that we're going to deal this guy, the Yankees do line up very well. Does that mean the Yankees get him? No. Are the Yankees in a strong position if they want to land Soto? 100% they are. No question about it. They would be very well inclined to land Juan Soto in a deal. And I think it makes all the sense in the world. The Yankees need to add a very powerful left-handed bat with great on-base percentage. You guys know all the reasons why Juan Soto should be a New York Yankee. I don't got to repeat it to you guys. You guys already know. Yankees judge says Yamamoto is the obvious offseason, no doubt about it. But speaking of Seattle, I was told yesterday, and I was going to make a separate video on this, but the Stanton and Cashman news got so crazy on Twitter today, I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and I'll talk about this on a live. So one of my sources told me yesterday that with conversations around Gleyber Torres, the Mariners have also been involved in that. And the New York Yankees asked for Bryce Wu or Miller. And then also the other name in there was Hancock, who's a hard-throwing right-handed pitcher, pretty good stuff. But Miller seems to be maybe the more long-term fit. But that conversation hasn't gone really anywhere because the Yankees have not been totally willing to add to that deal with Gleyber Torres. They've wanted to discuss Gleyber and an outfield prospect like a Everson Pereira for one of their starting pitchers. The New York Yankees have kind of been reluctant to do that, as they were last deadline or the deadline previous to that also when it comes to Gleyber Torres. So the Yankees aren't necessarily willing to part with additional pieces to get a controllable starter when it comes to Gleyber. Other teams want more than just 1 year of Gleyber. And again, Wu is a guy who looked very, very good last year. I think he had 90-something strikeouts to 80-something innings. Miller's a guy that people think is going to be a very good starter for years to come. Funny thing is, the Yankees may have had one of their best offensive showings last year against Miller, which I don't know if that gives you confidence in the kid, but the Yankees beat him up. Then they got like 11 hits off him and 8 earned runs, something the Yankees barely did all year. But he so happened to be the pitcher that day. So the Yankees are certainly willing to move Gleyber Torres. It is just going to be, I think, the what and who they've already added to the club. I don't think the Yankees are going to pop out of nowhere and go, a Gleyber deal happens without anything else in the fold. Because if the Yankees were smart, here's what you would do with Gleyber Torres. Hold on to him. Hold on to him until Bellinger's gone. Hold on to him until maybe Soto's traded. Because now you're sitting back going, even if Candelario's on the market, we got Gleyber Torres. Do you want to pay him or do you just want to go with Gleyber for a year? Now those teams that were saying we need to add more to that deal. Well, now your options are limited. There's not a lot of great offensive talents out there. But now your options are limited. Your options are limited. How you want to get this done? How do you want to make this work? Now I want that starting pitcher. You can have Gleyber for that original deal we talked about. You can have him. Maybe we'll add Marinaccio to a deal or a relief pitcher from a surplus, but you can have him. You can have him. David Miser, my guy, says Stanton is at least accountable for his actions. You're right, he blames himself, and at 34 years old, but we do have at least 2 years before the club option. But if he can be at least a DH, I still take him. Not sure what you're talking about, the club option. He got about 4 more years left. And what the Yankees will end up doing with Stanton is probably, if he doesn't improve, they probably try to ride it out for this year and next year, and then just DFA him and go, adios, man, it's been good. So I think that's the way you'd probably go about something like that. We got a couple of super chats to go, baby. Here we go.
Yo, Pete, what's up, brother? Chris from NY here.
Yo.
Just want to tune in, man. All over YouTube, especially on your channel, I'm seeing all this optimism about the New York Yankees acquiring all these players. Soto, Bellinger, Brendan Donovan. Listen, man, I've been a Yankee fan my whole life, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees didn't get any of these guys, and they just ran it back with the young players next year, hoping that they turned into something like they have been doing. The last 3 years, Cashman has failed to make any successful deals.
Yep.
What makes you think all of a sudden we're going to land Soto and Brendan Donovan and all of a sudden bring in all these all-stars and this team's going to be miraculously fixed? It ain't happening, bro. It ain't happening. We might get a piece or two, but we're not going to get these big stars, bro. We're going to get some washed-up veterans.
Okay.
You'll see. That's just my opinion. Thank you, bro. Talk to you later. Peace.
Yeah. I mean, just to go ahead and start with what you originally said, which is not true, that we're pushing optimism that the Yankees are going to sign all these guys. No, we're doing what we do every offseason. We talk about players that are available that the Yankees should get. We don't know if they're going to land them. We have no clue if the Yankees are going to land them. It wouldn't shock us either if the New York Yankees get none of these guys. But again, I'm going to talk about players that I am told the Yankees are interested in. I put the news out there long before anybody last year about Brendan Donovan. Nobody, oh, no, they're not going to trade him. And then the reporters come out and go, yes, the Yankees have had talks last year and this offseason about Brendan Donovan. So, guys, we are going to report on that. Nobody here is saying that the New York Yankees are going to have some miraculous offseason. What we're simply saying is, have the Yankees learned from their mistakes? It's as clear as day that this is the bottom of the barrel right now for the Yankees. If they don't learn from this, well, what do you learn from? You just missed the playoffs. You just got completely embarrassed. Yankees went 82-80. They're clowns in the media. They're clowns around the sport. Players shit on them. Coaches shit on them. Former players shit on them. Everybody right now is laughing in the faces of the New York Yankees. Nobody's saying get your hopes up. Would it shock me if the Yankees get none of them? Of course not. Do I believe what the Yankees have to do is acquire these guys? Yes. We're going to discuss what the Yankees have to do. Would this channel be fun if I came on and said, well, guys, I'll see you in April? I'm not going to make any videos because they're not going to do nothing. See you guys later. Is that how you want NYYU to run? I don't want to talk about opinions. I don't want to hear from you guys. I don't want to tell you what the Yankees need to do. I don't want to tell you what they should do. I don't want to tell you what's possible. I'll just be back in April. We'll be back in April, guys. Don't worry about it. We'll be off for 3 months. Adios. See you later. Stop it. Stop it.
Thank you for being a friend.
Victor Epic Warrior says Bowers, IKF, Abreu should be non-tendered ASAP. Well, look, man, we got a little while. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is the deadline for Rule 5 players, and the Yankees have a lot of guys on there that they have to make sure they get. We're going to get into that at 5 o'clock. We're going to have Dane Huber on. Dane's going to give us a little preview of who the New York Yankees need to protect on that Rule 5. So Dane is going to be there ready to talk about that, but we got a couple of more voicemails. Here we go.
It's Macho King in the house. How you doing?
Yeah.
The Underground. Yeah, this is a surprise voicemail, yeah. And this idiot cash clown, trash can, or whatever you want to call her, yeah, is acting up again and trying to mess with our free agents and agents of players and all kinds of stuff like that because he's the biggest jerk-off in the face of the earth, yeah. And he should have been fired years ago with his bitch baboon, yeah. I am fit to be tied, yeah, getting me upset on a day such as today or any other day for that matter, yeah. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that cash clown needs to go. Yeah, he's begging to be fired by the second year. But hell's got to grow a pair of balls here and get rid of this clown. ASAP, yeah. And then we need to get down to the business of winning championships again instead of bitching like a bunch of little girls out there on Twitter and X or whatever the hell you want to call that shit. Ooh, yeah, munch out.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. Ain't nobody like Macho King, baby, all right? Take a step back when the king is talking, all right? Cream of the crop always rises to the top.
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, my guy Uncle Tats is up in the house. Tatty, tatty, tat. The Yankees are better suited making smart moves over the blockbuster deals for players we don't need. Can you see the trade route being more realistic after Yamamoto and banking for Soto in free agency? You know, it's tough. I've had this question before that should the Yankees kind of wait on Soto to be a free agent? Should they wait and should we, kind of sit back on that, not bank on those things, not push for those things? Is that the right way for the New York Yankees to go about their business? Let me answer that in a couple of ways. So the first one I want to answer is Soto, and I want to leave this out there, and then I'll talk about what the Yankees could do if they didn't get Soto. How do they make that offense better? There is a possibility, no doubt about it. Here's the thing, though. The Yankees desperately need a superstar in that lineup that fits in with Aaron Judge. Guys, they desperately need it. Because when I talk about what else they could do, it sounds cute, it feels better, but it's not sexy. And in your mind, you go, I could see this going bad. But with Soto, here's the thing. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can go wrong. Nothing is a guarantee. But what you feel you can tell yourself about Soto is, even over time, with Juan Soto, you can say even if he has to adjust and it takes some time to get going, one thing you know is Soto's going to walk. He's going to get on base. His on-base percentage is going to be there. That's not going to leave. It's going to be there. That doesn't change for a guy like Soto. And the New York Yankees desperately need that more than anything. They need that more than anything. Okay? So, regarding Soto, why I think you should go get him now and not wait. Give him the taste of New York. Give him the taste of being a Dominican superstar in New York City. Give him that chance. If that is going to give you a small degree of an advantage to sign this guy long term, that is the route you got to go. I don't give a poot if you got to give up players now. You go out there and do it. Now, regarding your question, if the Yankees miss out on Soto, what are the other moves out there? I'll give you two quick ones. Candelario would be a smart move in my opinion. I like him. Switch hitter, gets on base, doubles machine, good fielder at third base. I like that. That I'm okay with. And then you got to trade for Brendan Donovan and maybe sign Kiermaier. Right there, you've added 3 lefty bats. None of them extremely sexy. None of them extremely sexy. But I do believe it's an offensive upgrade because you've added 3 bats to this lineup. And a couple of guys that hit for average. Couple of guys that don't strike out. And that is something that could make the Yankees better. But will their philosophy change? Will the Yankees drop down bunts? Will the Yankees do hit and runs? Will the Yankees steal more bags? That's what they need to do. That is what they need to do. They can still get better. Plus, you get Jason Dominguez on his way back. They can still get better. But in my opinion, you want to get Soto when you can get Soto. And if it's now, it is now. You want to give this guy a taste of what the city has to offer him. You want to give him that taste. Hey, Juan, look, man. We're bringing you in. Look, man, we've put up fucking food trucks We got Dominican food in here now. We got Dominican food here. The flag is being sold. You know, we got the Dominican flag being sold. So when you're in left field, everybody out there has that flag waving. You're in little Dominican Republic right now. You are loved here. You are a star here. This is where you belong, brother. This is why we've gotten you early. It is a smart business decision. And folks, can I run something else by you guys real quick? That 1 year, $30 million. That 1 year, 30 plus million he's going to get this year. Yankees are making that back in marketing and revenue. All that revenue is coming back on Juan Soto in 1 year with the New York Yankees. Can you imagine? Mario's in here. Perfect timing for somebody to be in here. Mario's in here. Can you imagine? And I know I'm going to say this because Mario's going to agree. Can you imagine the minute it is announced that Juan Soto is a New York Yankee and it's announced he is number 22? How many jerseys do you believe the Yankees sell in that first day? And that jersey goes on sale on the official website, bada bing, bada boom. How many jerseys do you think the New York Yankees sell that day? Yankee Farm, Rockets the number one. Guys, I have not bought a jersey in years. The last jersey I bought was Garrett Cole. Because if anybody remembers me from way back in the day, that's always a guy I loved. And I wanted him on the Yankees. That's the last jersey I got. Juan Soto's jersey would sell so much internationally, that the Yankees would already be sitting back going, this was worth every player we gave up. This is worth every player we gave up to get this guy. It's worth it. It's worth every damn penny that we gave up to get this guy and this team. It's worth all of it. One more voicemail, guys, and then we're going to get ready to get Dane Huber in here to talk about the Rule 5.
Hey, dude, how you doing? I am just frustrated. And this team just frustrates to no end. It is so hard to fathom where we are at this point. Growing up as a kid, I watched the Yankees. They were at the pinnacle of the New York sports hierarchy. They were the top team, the team that everybody wanted to be. To see them in the gutter being a competent mess, I mean, just your GM is shooting yourself in the foot. You have Stanton calling him out for.
I got to stop that voicemail because I have no fucking idea what you're saying, brother. I can't hear you well. I have no idea. Oh, man. Vodka. I have no idea what you're saying, my guy. If you want to call back, I'll play it later, but you got to be a little more clear than that. I have no idea what you were saying. Zero. No knowledge at all of what was being said. I don't know. No clue. No clue. No clue what my guy was saying. No clue whatsoever. Let me get ready to get Dane Huber in here, folks. We're going to talk about the Rule 5. What's going on here? Close this thing down. Come on. We're going to talk about the Rule 5. We're going to talk about who the Yankees have to get in there. As V-Man says, sorry, I'm a bit stoned in the phone call. V-Man, my guy. Damn, I mean, at least he's just saying it. V-Man, it's all good, my brother. Don't worry about it, man. If you want to, try to calm it down a little bit, it would be good. Is this a 24-hour stream? No, I'll be streaming until a little after 6 o'clock. And guys, by the way, we're 3 subbies away from 20,020. Okay? We're climbing those charts, baby. So if you are not subscribed to NYYU, I got a simple question for you. What are you doing? Hit the subby, would ya? Hit the like button too, baby. Let's go ahead and get Dane Huber in here, that handsome son of a bitch. Here we go. Let's get the great Dane. Where is he? Come on, Dane, you son of a bitch, you. Come on, Dane. Where's he at? Dane? There he is. There's that handsome son of a bitch. Let me get you fixed on this screen, all right there.
All right.
Oh, hey.
What's going on, fellas?
There he is. All right, Dane, I got to put you on the spot, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, I got to put you on the spot. So, the New York Yankees, as we call them, right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Who are they protecting? Because it's getting a little tight here. They gotta protect some of these guys today. I know there's a couple of big names on there. Who is the must that the Yankees have to protect?
Augustine Ramirez is the absolute must of all musts, and then Clayton Beater is the other one. I was told they had 3 spots open. I'm not sure if they protect anybody else other than that. Maybe Edgar Barclay.
That's the relief pitcher.
He is. He's a left-hand reliever that should be major league ready next year. But those would be the 3 that would stand out to me. But Beater and a Goose absolutely are musts.
Okay, makes sense. Now, my question for you is, and I think we'd all agree on this, if the New York Yankees go ahead and they didn't protect these guys, they'd be picked up 100%. I mean, Beater could easily just go into a pen for somebody if need be. And I think Ramirez could potentially just DH for somebody because he has the bat for it.
Yeah, these 2 will get picked up if they are not protected, because Beater is going to be either in a bullpen or a rotation. He's a useful MLB piece. He'll make somebody's 26-man roster next year.
Yeah.
With Ramirez, he's not as likely to make a team's 26-man roster, but he's something like, there was a catcher that we lost to, Luis Torrens, to the Mariners many years ago.
And they held him. They held him as a backup for a while, for the whole year they had to.
Yep. That would have to happen with a Goose for him to stick, but his ceiling and talent is so high. I think that would probably happen if he wasn't protected.
That's what I think too, because at the end of the day, the bat is what's going to carry him. I mean, this is a guy that I'm not going to say that he'll come up and, a team's going to say, well, we need you catching and, we got to figure that out. But I think his bat is good enough that he may not hit 250, 260. He might hit in the low 200s, but I think I have a little bit of pop on him, and he might adjust to the major leagues quicker than some people think.
Yeah, he handles put a little something together. Yeah, he handles velocity really well. He doesn't struggle with off-speed pitches. He'll pick up the bat, and it could be slightly below major league average this year, but as he gets more used to the level, it'll obviously get better and better.
No doubt. And that to me makes a lot of sense now as we got my guy, Hector. What's good, fam?
What up, Hector?
Good old Hector is in the chat, baby. When it comes to Barclay, tell us a little about him and why you think, or what do you believe the Yankees should hold on to him or not?
They probably should, because they need left-hand relievers, but I could certainly see them not, because he doesn't have a real big standout profile. He's not going to break glass with a fastball. It's 89, 90, 91 miles an hour, but it's a very flat, it's a unique arm angle. He kind of comes from behind the ear, and it's a little more 3/4. If you go back to his AA numbers, he piggybacked with Yoendrys Gomes for most of the first half, and he was really, really good. He didn't give up his first run. Carlos, I know you're in here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he gave up his first run for 2 months. But he went to
No, I was just going to say, but the Yankees probably wouldn't consider him higher than maybe bringing back a guy like Wandy Peralta?
It depends on where they want to spend money. Barclay was an extremely effective reliever. If they don't want to spend the 7, 8, 9 million to bring Wandy back,
I'm not giving Wandy 7, 8, 9 million. No way in hell. I mean, I don't know what his value is going to be, but yeah, I'm definitely, I would 100% pass on Wandy at 7 to 8, 9 million a season. No way. Yankee Farm says he's a pass on putting Barclay on the 40 man. He wouldn't be too concerned about it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he'll get taken. I don't know if he sticks on somebody's roster all year. He could very well end up back.
Yeah. And as Yankee Farm also says, I don't see how 89 miles an hour from the left side is getting it done in the major leagues. I mean, he has to have really elite command if that's the case, and very, very solid break and stuff to continue to do it.
But Los is very right that he might not be able to get it done. We simply don't know because he hasn't been on to the major leagues yet. But he has done a really good job carving up AA lineups.
Yeah, let me go ahead and play this, Dane. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it also. You might be able to. If not, I'll just repeat what is being said. But this is a clip right now from the Michael Kay show. I'm going to go ahead and play this for you guys. It's Kay basically, from what I'm seeing. Well, we've kind of all been thinking already that the Padres are going to trade Juan Soto. So let me go ahead and play that for everybody now. Let's take a listen.
Everybody that I respect in this business said that Juan Soto is definitely getting traded. Definitely. And what the Padres want, because they're losing Blake Snell, is they need pitching. They want ready-made young pitching. And the Yankees have that. If I'm the Yankees, would I give up Clark Schmidt and the kid Hampton in the minors for him? In a second, even for 1 year of them, I would do that. I like Clark Schmidt, but you give me Juan Soto for 1 year, I would do it. Now, the Mets want Soto as well, but the Mets desperately need pitching, so they might not have it. The Cubs and the Mariners are supposedly interested in as well. So there was some thought, well, they would keep going for it as long as Seidler was around. But Seidler passes away today. Mm-hmm. And you look at the roster and all the deals that he gave out. Bogarts, 13-year deal, no trade clause. Yu Darvish, no trade clause. Machado, no trade clause. Tatis, no trade clause. No trade clause. Complete blanket, no trade. So they've got to get rid of money because of the fact that they took a $50 million loan to meet payroll in September, and now their owner, who would do anything to bring a championship to San Diego, is no longer with us. They might have a fire sale. And maybe some of those guys with the no-trade clauses, they want out as well. But I really believe now, even before Mr. Seidler passed away today, that Soto was going to get traded. And I'm telling you, you want to change the narrative about all what seems crazy in the Bronx lately? You get Soto, and fans will shut up.
Well, Michael Kay, I mean, he said it right there. I mean, that's basically everything that we've already been talking about. I kind of don't like the end there, saying if you want to just get them to shut fans up. It's kind of that's not the way I would go about it. I just think it's the right move to make. It has nothing to do with shutting fans up. It's what the Yankees desperately need as an organization. So Michael Kay apparently just seems to like to, kind of tell the fans to be quiet and shut their mouth for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I liked his comment earlier in the year when
you sound like a fan.
Yep, drove me nuts.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess that's that's the way he's going about his business, which is kind of weird. But when it comes to what Kay just said, he mentioned names that we've talked about. He said, at the end of the day, the Mets want him too, but the Mets don't got the starting pitching. The Mets don't got the pitching to go ahead and trade for Soto. They don't have that. Now, Yamamoto, okay. They could be in contention for Yamamoto. I think all of us agree on that. He mentions Clark Schmidt. He says Clark Schmidt and Chase Hampton. If that's the two guys they want, done. That's an easy deal. And, he talks about Seattle. He talks about the Cubs. They're kind of a little more unwilling to deal some of the starters that they have, according to Jeff Passan and a few others. But the Yankees seem like, in all reality, this kind of reminds me of the time when guys like Bobby Abreu was available. And it's kind of just like, it's yours. You know what I mean? It's kind of, it's a little different because he doesn't have a gigantic contract as of right now for years and years to come. That'll be up to the Yankees or whatever team that gets him. But it's almost like, and Kay also mentioned with the owner passing away, it's more likely now that you're going to have a fire sale and get rid of a lot of these guys. But it makes so much sense for the Yankees because they're sitting back going, hey, look, guys, you got Garrett Cole. You got Carlos Rodon. The Yankees have already said they're interested in Yamamoto and they're interested in potentially Aaron Nola. So not even speaking of that, they also have Gleyber Torres, who a team will give up a pitcher for. The New York Yankees are so set up to make a deal for Soto. And just going back to that call that goes, you guys want to be optimistic? No, we're smart baseball fans. Nobody's sitting here and saying, guys, they're going to get him. It's done. It's over. We're just simply reading the room. It makes the most sense for the Yankees to get Soto, and that is the deal they should make. Dane, do you disagree with anything I said?
Not a single word, but I would just add to that when we were talking last night about the Torres possible deal to Seattle, we heard those same names being brought up as people the Yankees were interested in.
Exactly.
For Torres. And we also heard that's a pitching package that they wanted from the Marlins. So it would seem the Yankees are loading up on young arms, not so much to keep, but they're also narrowing the field that's in it for Soto. If they get starting pitching away from the Mariners, they wouldn't have the pieces to trade for Soto if they got him for Torres.
Bingo.
So by looking to move Torres for bats, I think they're setting up the rest of the winter. I think they have to feel really confident with Yamamoto because you got to get him, or Nola would be the other one, to keep that top of the rotation really, really good. And then you could give the back to some kids.
Now, when it comes to the Joel Wolf stuff and him being the agent of Yamamoto, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that causes any type of impact or rift with the Yankees signing Yamamoto?
I think that he probably threw that comment out there to check Cashman a little bit, but I don't think it really will have any real impact based on everything that I've been told. Yamamoto, especially with the Japanese minority owner swimming, what's his last name?
Minami.
Yeah. With his relationship with Minami, you gotta like the Yankees' chances no matter what. I just don't think that situation is going to come back to bite the Yankees in the Yamamoto situation.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we're going to talk a little more about the whole Seattle situation that me and Dane had talked about last night that I was going to make a video on. But since I knew I'd be live for a while, I figure let's discuss all that here. And guys, we got 381 in here. I need you guys to do me a favor. Please hit that like button for us. We're also 3 subscribers away from 20,020 overall. Of course, trying to make our way up the charts as NYYU continues to grow by the day, folks. So thank you for that. I just read this great comment right here by James Rosen, the new Yankees hitting coach, and I wanted to share this with everybody. I think this is great. They asked him, I really like this. They said, he was asked about balancing new school ideologies with new age analytics as a hitting coach. He stated, this is his line, I love this, "I'm not old school, I'm not new school, I'm in school." I love that.
I like that.
I like that a lot. That to me is
that
is a great line. I'm not old school, I'm not new school, I'm in school. Basically meaning that I'm learning everything. You know, I have my ways, but I'm learning new ways, and I kind of, put everything together to figure shit out. So we'll see how that works. But Dane, let's talk a little bit about what we learned yesterday and what we found out. Because I called you up, telling you what I had. You reached out to a few people that you speak with, and you confirmed some of the same type of conversation with the same type of players.
We did.
Bryce Wu, Miller, and I think Hancock was the other guy.
It was.
That the Yankees have had interest in. They've reached out. According to what I'm also hearing today, Wu and Miller are 2 guys that kind of having trouble thinking of dealing. They don't necessarily want to. The Yankees have been also asked to potentially add more to Gleyber Torres. I've heard some bullpen names. I've heard Ron Marinaccio's name come up, but I also heard him involved in a St. Louis deal. But then we also heard Everson Pereira's name come up as a potential piece that could also go in a deal with Gleyber Torres. The Yankees don't want to do that. The Yankees want at least 2 starting pitchers. They really haven't come off that ask that they've wanted from the Marlins last deadline.
No, they haven't. And I think that the name that they may settle on for the outfielder would be Florial. That seems to be someone the Yankees are a little more willing to move on. But
you would hope.
But he still obviously fits what Seattle's trying to do with Pereira. As far as the 3 pitchers that Seattle has, I think it would be Emerson Hancock. That's probably going to be the one that would come back.
Yeah.
That's the one that they seem the most willing to deal. And if you really look at his stuff and all that, I think he's probably the one that Matt Blake can help the most.
Hold on a second. We got a little.
Okay.
What is this?
I couldn't let it go. So you don't have many lives. So I had to take the live that you're in.
Really?
Yes.
What does that say?
20K.
Wow. Are you guys seeing this?
Oh.
So we just got to align it correctly, but congrats on your 20K.
Really, babe?
Yes, really. I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to tie it to your chest.
You gonna tie? What? I'm just like 6. It's like a birthday party right now. I'm like 6 years old in the fucking birthday party. What about the cake?
I tried.
Wow, that is nice. Thank you, babe.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
20K, folks. 20K, baby.
Just a couple of days ago, so.
MVP doing MVP things like Francis said.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking like, all right, ain't nobody usually just comes breaking through the door. Like, well, what is this about?
No.
So.
You deserve it, my guy.
Thank you so much. 20K is official, folks.
Yes,
Thank
it
you
is.
gues. This is for you guys too.
Yes, it is.
Got a little balloon party going on. Look at the big K right there. Where's it at? Let me try to get in. Hey! He struck him out.
Oh, is that a big K? That's awesome.
It's a giant ass K.
Yes, it is.
It is
That's
a giant
awesome.
ass K. All right, I think it's good now, right? Am I gonna turn? It's gonna smack me in the head and stuff.
It's gonna
Okay.
be on you, baby.
All right, that's fine. Appreciate it, babe. Cute little moment. All right, gotta get me a little choked up. Dane, you son of a bitch. You had this plan. This is part of you, Dane. You thought about this?
No, I had nothing to do with it. I'm bad with surprises.
That is very, very nice of her. Thank her so much, of course. The beautiful, lovely, wonderful fiance always coming through big time. Yeah, I kept bothering her. I kept saying, I said, babe, like, no, we don't get like no cake, no celebration, no nothing. Like 20K is a nice little number for us. We don't get nothing for it. And yeah, this was completely unexpected. Very, very nice. I just hope none of this pops. But anyway, getting back to our conversation. Yeah, I don't know if the Yankees just don't seem willing to give up more than just Gleyber. It kind of seems like they want Gleyber and they want 2 starting pitching prospects back. Now, we have both heard that Wu and Miller, that's going to be you're not going to get 2 of those guys. No way in hell.
No, it would be one of those guys and probably a lower level prospect.
Yeah.
I think they want 2, so I think they start a package with Hancock, and then they have some other starting pitchers that are in double AAA that they might include.
Yeah.
They also have interest in Carlos Narvaez going back to them.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So we have 5 catchers on the 40-man roster right now. There's no way they're going to keep that many, and they have to add Augustin Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to move a couple catchers. And I would thought they would already have done it by now, but I wouldn't be a surprise if they moved it before the deadline tonight in the next 30 minutes. So
yeah, because the deadline is 6 p.m. Now, I haven't been able to confirm this anywhere, but you're saying you think the Yankees had 3 open spots already, so they wouldn't have to make a move.
no, they would not.
Ah, okay. So they'll just have to add those players and then they'll be good to go. So that is actually best case scenario for the Yankees there, because it doesn't make anything too difficult for them to do. They can easily just add those guys and that's it.
The number that I can find is 38 that they are out right now.
Which would still be
So
good because you're saying Beater and Ramirez.
Right.
Okay. So they'll still be good there. Let me double check one other thing real quick. Turn that one off.
Esau, you are right about Munoz being the guy that was the relief pitcher coming back from the Mariners. That Seattle was willing to move on.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I was asked earlier, I just like to run this one by you to see what you think also. When it comes to if the Yankees were to miss on Soto, which I'll be honest with you, I don't know how the hell you miss on Soto at this point. I really it would just be an absolute disgrace at this point, I think, if the Yankees were to miss on this guy. I don't know how it happens.
It would be it would be an epic failure of portions
100%.
And based because of missing out on Seager, on Olsen, on Freeman,
Harper, Seager.
You can't miss on Soto. You just can't.
And it's almost at this point, it's almost giving. But if I were to ask you, if the Yankees did miss out on him, what is the route you're taking to build this offense up? I don't know if you saw it when I was on, but I said Candelario I would sign, and I would try to get Donovan, and then maybe sign Kiermaier.
Yeah, that's about the only way that you can go.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay Bellinger the money that he's looking for. I don't think that's a fit.
Because he's not signing for $20 million.
No.
If somebody came to me and goes, hey, $20 million, 5-6 years, you do consider it a bit because you go, hey, look, he could be a first baseman. We don't have somebody right now, so. But he wants like 28 over like 8 or 9 years. I don't know.
Major League MLB trade rumors predicted 12 years, 200 and.
Yeah, that's batshit crazy.
Yeah,
that's
I'm not
bad.
giving him 12 years.
Who's
There's no
giving
way.
him that? Who's giving him 12 years? Seriously.
There's only one team that's desperate enough to do that, and that's the Giants, because they can't land any other free agents.
That makes sense. I agree with you on that one. I think the Giants are the ones. We got a couple of super chats here to get to. My brother Rod Thompson says, to be honest, you can never have too much pitching. If I'm running the Yankees, I'm getting Yamamoto and Snell. Yankees need innings eaters. Would not be upset about that if that were to happen, but Yankees need offense very, very badly. They definitely need to kind of, and when I talk about the Yankees needing offense, I think they really got to have minimum 3 new people in that 1 through 9. Minimum 3.
I agree, but I think one of those guys is going to, well, 2 of them are going to be Soto and Cronenworth. I don't know who the third will be.
Hold on to his name. Hold on to Cronenworth's name. I definitely want to talk about him a little more. Joseph Gonzalez says, I see Higgy and either Rortvedt or Trevino being flipped soon. Ramirez plus Beater will be saved. The rest are probably expendable. Yeah, I think there'll be some names there. I think that makes some sense. One of the catchers are going to get moved. I don't think the Yankees are just going to store Rortvedt in AAA when they've added Narvaez, unless Narvaez is moved, like you said.
I think Narvaez is moved before Rortvedt. He hasn't been to the major leagues. He's not as good of a defensive catcher as Rortvedt, and he's right-handed versus left-handed. I think that they would hold on to Rortvedt, but especially with Augustine being right-handed and a better version of Narvaez, basically, I think Narvaez is the one that gets moved.
I do not disagree with you at all on that. Now, you did mention a interesting name. And I made a video about this because that is some of the rumor out there already that, of course, the Padres are going to go on this, potential fire sale, so to say, of guys they're going to move. I want to talk about it. Before we get into Jake Cronenworth, I want to talk about his contract a little bit, because here's the reason, here's the why behind why, again, it could happen. We already know the Padres want starting pitching. The Yankees may say, hey, look, we want to keep Michael King. We really like this kid. We think he's going to be good for our rotation, but we're willing to give you 2 of our top 3 guys, we believe, Clark Schmidt, Drew Thorpe, or Chase Hampton. We're willing to deal 2 of those guys to you. Padres could come back and go, only way we're doing that is if you take on Jake Cronenworth's contract and you have a deal. Now, Jake Cronenworth for 2024, season coming up, is only owed $7.2 million. Then his salary goes to 12.3 about for the remaining 3 years. Actually, 2025, it goes to 11.2. And then every year after that until 2030, it goes to 12.3 almost. My question to you is, that contract is signed.
Mm-hmm.
He's been, and I've talked to Padres fans about this. Any Padres fans in this chat, please let me know. My understanding is he kind of had that Glaber effect. They moved him out of his best position at second base, where he was an all-star for 2 years. They put him at first base, and it hasn't worked out well for him. And everybody I talk to, they say he's not that good at first. He was way better at second. Much more athletic, a good athlete. He could also, he does a lot of things that you would like. Good second baseman.
Good on base percentage guy, too.
Good on base percentage. A lefty bat, a lot of things you will like. The only way I'm very comfortable with this move is if the Yankees go, you're our second baseman. I don't want to hear this shit about he's the No. Put him at second base.
I would agree with that. They already have 2 utility guys in DJ LeMahieu and Oswaldo Cabrera on the roster. I think that you have to move Torres I think you have to either sign or move Torres no matter what. But if you move him for pitching to get Soto, you stick Cronenworth at second base, and I think you're pretty happy with that until Jared Cerna or somebody like that becomes available or becomes ready.
Dane, let me ask you this. Jake Cronenworth next year, let's say he plays 155 games for the Yankees. You think he pops you 20-plus homers?
Well, considering that he showed that kind of power a couple years ago, and San Diego is a really tough ballpark for left-hand hitters, playing 82 games in Yankee Stadium, I think that he comes pretty close.
Yeah. I'm willing to take that. If I could sit there and go, well, hey, look, a couple of years ago, let's say 2021, the kid hit 266 with a 340 on base percentage. That's why he got this deal, and it was a smart move at that time, right? Then he hits. I'll go over this. 2022, okay, the year right after that, he makes the All-Stars again. Numbers decline a little bit. He hits 239. He has a 332 on base percentage. His slugging dips quite a bit, and his OPS dips quite a bit. I'll tell you guys this right now. I would take that season from him at Yankee Stadium, meaning his average will relatively be about the same. I think his slugging would indeed go up. I think he'd probably pop about 21, 22 homers. And that year he had 88 RBIs and he had 88 runs scored. I would take that at $12 million every single season. And he's a good defender at second base.
Yeah. And he brings balance to the lineups again, which I think is one of the most important parts for anything the Yankees do this year.
So I just think what this kind of says for us is that Cronenworth wouldn't hold up our deal to get Soto.
No, he would not for me. Absolutely not.
No way in hell. No way in hell this guy would hold it up for me. And I want to ask you about another team because I was thinking about this yesterday, right? And I'm like, damn, because if the Yankees were to get Donovan or were to get some of these names we're talking about, we're kind of looking at that infield going, well, what happens to Peraza? Dane, I think I got a pretty decent idea with Peraza.
Okay.
The Brewers are looking to move a lot of players. They may tear that whole thing down. Can Peraza be a main piece in the deal for Devin Williams?
Yeah, and I figured that's where you were going. That makes so much sense that it's silly.
They want to trade Willy Adames also,
so they're trying to get younger and cheaper. Peraza goes there and is their shortstop, makes all the sense in the world. And we get the bullpen arm, late inning bullpen arm we need.
Yep. And I know a lot of people are going to sit there and go, but Pete, he's an elite closer. Guys, repeat what he's a relief pitcher. their value is never going to be extremely high. They're relief pitchers. It doesn't matter if he's the greatest closer on the planet. If you can sit there and the Yankees call him and go, we'll give you Peraza, and maybe we'll give you 2 bullpen arms or 2 other pieces to supplement that. I'll be honest with you. He's going to start making more money as soon as this year.
Mm-hmm.
They may be more inclined right now to go ahead and make that type of move. Yeah, 100%.
And I think that they would be very interested in some younger arms that we have in the system.
Like who? Off the top of your head.
Well, Lonnie, LaGrange, Chanel Arias, Luis Serna, even a Brendan Beck might interest them a whole lot. Someone that they could
That'll be nice.
They could build through their process. There's just a lot of arms that we have lower in the system that could make a lot of sense going back to them that they could build up.
No question. Our friend Ruben says Cronenworth is similar to Bellinger. All he needs is to drop his launch angle a little bit. His struggle started basically when his launch angle went up. And I've recognized this with a lot of players, Dane. I've been pretty outspoken about this, and I haven't heard many other people talk about this. There's been a lot of good players, and he's right because I've researched this on Craig. He's 100% right. You can see it. I think I talked about it in my original video. You can look on Baseball Savant, and you can see year by year, his launch angle goes up, and his batting average goes down. Then all of a sudden, he's striking out a little more, and it's as clear as day what happens. That's why I'm kind of liking what James Rosen is talking about. He's talking about specific to the player. He's not talking about he said, I don't like the word philosophy because everybody has to base off of philosophy. And he's right. That's true. You got to base it off the player.
Yeah, you have to individually tailor things because the same thing for one guy isn't going to work for another guy. Body types are different. Athleticism's different. You have to tailor the approach. And just hitting strikes hard, while it's common sense, doesn't work for everybody because they have you have to have timing mechanisms tailored. There's just a lot of things that need to be factored into an approach other than launch angle and exit velocity. And I think Rosen, look, he has a close relationship with Aaron Judge.
Yep.
When Gary Sanchez was coming up, he was a big guy that helped Sanchez, and Sanchez was a hell of a hitting prospect.
No doubt.
So we know the guy can help young players get better. It's just going to be how the veterans respond to him. I don't know anything about how his working relationship was in Detroit or with Minnesota, but Aaron Judge is a big fan of this guy. So he obviously has to have some good relationships with players. I think it's a decent move. I wish Sean Casey was coming back, but I think this is going to be a good move for the Yankees.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Hearing some of his comments and his quotes, it kind of definitely grew on me a little bit. We got a couple of super chats in here. Our friend Acevedo says, Corbin Burns for Yoendrys Gomez, Randy Vasquez, and Clayton Beater. I think it might cost somebody on the offense side a little more than all the pitching there. I think they'd probably, if you're trading Corbin Burns, you probably want a decent offensive talent back somewhere in there, I would assume.
I would think that you would have to add a Spencer Jones.
I was thinking maybe maybe a Jones or somebody along those lines is something they may want. The fiance, by the way, the funny thing is, she also got me a cake. So she also got me a cake. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. And by the way, I'm sharing that with the team. So if anybody's close to where I live, you could come on. Payne's across the other side of the country. He's like, fuck you, you asshole. Joseph Gonzalez says, the Yankees have proven to be a great bullpen factory over the years. Is it wise to use an asset for a reliever? Joseph, let me tell you this, brother. For this guy, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. For this guy, for a guy like Devin Williams, that's a closer. He's been there and done that. He's been doing it. Yeah. Yeah, you would make that move. Now, when it comes to signing a guy like what's the kid's name? The Cuban kid.
Rodriguez.
When it comes to signing that dude for maybe a $40 million, that's when I'm going, yeah, but we got all these kids down there. Like, I don't see the point of giving that type of asset. But when it comes to doing it along the lines of getting a guy that's a legitimate closer, a guy that's been there and done it, bro, you gotta go.
You know, I just thought of something. What about putting Luis Heel with Devin Williams and having Heel being mentored by him? So when Williams is expensive, Heel takes over as your closer.
Bro, you know how I feel about Luis Heel. I've said that for a while. I mean, I am all about Luis Heel staying in the bullpen. I know the Yankees are probably gonna, he's a starting pitcher. They wanna, give that a little bit of time. I understand that. Luis Heel's a guy who can absolutely shut the door on people. People tend to forget Luis Heel dominated when he first came up. I know it was his first look. I get that. But here's a guy, Dane, you had a new report of him now that he's throwing a circle change now? A
circle change and a cutter to go along with a sweeper and a slider. He's actually added a sweeper too.
I mean, come on. If there's a little improvement in command out of the bullpen, you're talking about a guy that can absolutely shut down people.
Right, and the velocity in the arm would play up at least a tick or two, maybe 3 or 4 in shorter outings. And we've seen him hit 102, 101. It's with that slider fastball combination, he'd be incredible back there. And you have him be mentored by Devin Williams, maybe teach him that air bender, could be pretty special.
I think the idea of having Devin Williams closing the games for the Yankees is just wow. And it really does make sense. I trust me, I get, that'll never happen. You got your people, that'll never happen. I mean, my thing is, if you want to get the most out of him, why would you wait?
Exactly. And let's be real about Peraza. If they're trading for Cronenworth, trying to get Donovan, there's really not a lane for Peraza left.
They've also been connected to Candelario too the other day, just I think yesterday.
So there's really not a lane for Peraza. Why not use him to improve probably your biggest pitching weakness on the club?
And let's remember too, look at we can even journey down the history of Oswald Peraza. The Yankees haven't been overly fitting to be like, let's get this guy in the lineup every day. This is not us saying we dislike him. We're actually very big fans of Oswald Peraza. I still believe you play him every day. I think he can have a better offensive year than Volpe did. I believe that.
100%.
I 100% believe that with this kid. We've been saying that since the offseason of last year. Me and you talked about that a lot. And my thing is, if I'm looking at it, the Yankees have never really given this kid a chance. So why would I assume that out of nowhere they're going to go, Glaber's traded, he's our second baseman? It's possible, but I don't see the Yankees fully committing to something like that.
Well, I don't see Brian Cashman committing to Peraza. Hal Steinbrenner has repeatedly said that he sees the middle infield as Volpe, Peraza.
But he's the boss. Why hasn't it happened?
Because because Torres has still been here.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but I think we're going to find out this winter if it's going to be Peraza at second base or somebody else. But I think Torres is.
Oh, let's be honest here, right? If Peraza is going to be on a team, he has to be starting. There's nowhere else to put the guy at this point. He has to be starting.
Right.
And then I just want to throw this one out there real quick. Sal Licata on WFAN. I mean, I don't think this means anything. Sal's usually just an opinion guy. He says all signs support that the Yankees will end up with Juan Soto and Yamamoto from things that he is hearing. And those are the type of things that we've been hearing. Now, again, folks, take caution. You never know. But let's be real here. You don't gotta be some mind reader here. You can read the tea leaves pretty easy. The two things that make the most sense for the New York Yankees is Yamamoto and Juan Soto. I mean, I don't know how many. We're going to repeat this all off season, so get used to it, folks. But it just makes the most damn sense.
Absolutely. And you can have other factors in that, then it just makes more sense for the lineup. It makes sense financially for the Yankees. And they have the kind of pieces San Diego wants. It's where we have reportedly been heard that Yamamoto wants to be is a Yankee. So it just makes too much sense that they don't end up with that.
Yep.
I usually don't see two huge moves in an offseason working out the way we want. I do
Typically
this year.
correct. Yeah, I think we had our nights at the round table, and we kind of put each other on the spot on that and said, all right, well, what do you think is going to happen? Yes or no? It's that simple. Let's hear it. And I really don't know how you sit back as a Yankee fan and go, those are the two most logical moves, and how do they not do it? Now, we understand that it's possible they don't. We get that. We get the Yankees have let us down before. There's nothing new there. But I do feel like it is a little different right now, the team going 82-80 and the media just eating them, and players of past and former players and former coworkers just shitting on them left and right. Something has to give. And look, Michael K's kind of wrong in the sense of going, that'll make the fans shut up, because that's not the way I see it. That's doing the right thing.
It is.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, how are those two? You need to get younger. That's something Hal mentioned in his press conference, is that they were going to get younger. Well, if you bring in two 25-year-olds who are probably two of the best baseball players in the world, you get younger and better.
Yeah.
Bringing in those two guys allows you to form a new core that
Bingo.
also extends Judge and Cole's window of contention, because if you bring in Soto and Yamamoto, Cole and Judge no longer have to be your Batman and Robin for the next 5 or 10 years. You have Yamamoto and Soto with Dominguez who can do that and carry those guys.
Bingo.
Those two, they just make way too much sense not to go get, and we have the pieces to do that.
Yep. That is a great point, talking about that. That's really extending the window, and it's creating a new one. You're right. These are two young guys, not even in their prime yet.
No.
It's the route you got to go. Victor Epic Warrior with the super chat says, Peraza is going to be the next Tyro Estrada. He needs a change of scenery. Cashman killed his confidence entirely. DJ is under contract for another 5 years. And it also depends on what the Yankees want to do with DJ LeMahieu. I've talked about this a lot. LeMahieu is a very, very well-liked guy around Major League Baseball. Everybody knows that. He comes across as a leader, and he comes across as a legitimate baseball guy, and also a guy that still plays Gold Glove caliber defense at first base, third base, and second base. If the Yankees added others and they felt like, oh man, we're kind of stuck here, we got to move a piece, let me tell you guys something right now. That $15 million a year for LeMahieu isn't much for many clubs. A lot of teams would take DJ LeMahieu in a heartbeat.
And you would think that there was a younger, where DJ could make a lot of sense to be Arizona, where he could be a little bit of a mentor. I think that
third base would be phenomenal for him there. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Evan Longoria is probably going to retire. You take DJ, you put him at third base. He's a better defender. I think that makes some sense for both teams. I think you can move on from him.
Yeah, I like that. And I mean, we're talking about, he has 3 years left on his deal, 2024, 2025, and 2026 at $15 million a season. So you're looking at 3 years, $45 million for DJ LeMahieu. That is not,
that's not a ton of money.
Not at all.
Not with his resurgence in the second half. The bat came around and looked better. He doesn't look like he's in a huge decline. If they can move that money, why not?
I mean, and if you look at his season, I mean, a 1.3 WAR, okay, that's not worth $15 million. But look, a 243 average. The guy had 121 hits, a 327 on base percentage, 718 OPS. None of that is extremely sexy, but he had a much better second half and kind of finish to the year. But I don't see the Yankees going out to be like, oh, there's no suitors for DJ LeMahieu. That wouldn't add up to me.
I think it could also be a Chase Headley situation where they attach a young MLB ready player to him to eat a little bit of the money.
Yep.
Make him a little more attractive. They have enough depth to do that.
Yep. So we are 19 minutes now until 6 p.m. We're waiting to see who the Yankees add. I think we already have a pretty good idea that it'll be Clayton Beeter and Augustin Ramirez are the two players the Yankees will likely add to the 40-man roster, if not more. Maybe there'll be some surprises. Maybe there'll be a trade. Maybe there'll be a DFA. And something will come out of this. But as of right now, folks, there is no update when it comes to that. The talk around baseball today seems like the majority of reporters, the majority of talk radio in New York believes that Juan Soto is going to be a Yankee at some point. So it's gonna be fairly interesting to see what happens.
And very exciting if it hopefully does.
Well, they got to do something. That's the one thing I'll agree with Kay on, man. They got to do something to make people happy.
Yeah, they do. There is absolutely no way they can run it back in this. I mean, I read something yesterday or 2 days ago that tickets season ticket sales are down 30 or 40%.
Well, that's 100% should be the case.
Yeah, it should be. But to get those season tickets back, they're going to have to make a couple big moves, and that's what it sounds like they're going to do.
Yep, I'm right there with you, man. It'll be interesting over the next couple of weeks to see what happens. There has not been a posting yet for Yamamoto, per my understanding.
No.
He hasn't been officially posted yet, so we're waiting on that. Let me ask you a question about Nola.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a guy that, Yankees miss out on Yamamoto? Or is that somebody that you would seriously consider the Yankees going after?
Yeah. He doesn't do as much for me as what Yamamoto does. I think I would rather not lock myself into that kind of long-term contract for him and maybe wait for Roki Sasaki in a couple of years. But it would depend on what they could get for Torres pitching. And because to me, the number one move is getting Soto. So if you have to collect pitchers to get that, then it might make some sense to get Nola. So you could move King. There's just a lot of different ways to go about it. But Nola isn't the guy that jumps out at me and makes me.
What about Snell?
Snell, not him either for me, because he walks a lot of guys, doesn't get through a order 3 times real well. He's already older. Are we going to really want to pay him $30 million a year?
That makes sense. What is this? This is just in a Discord. Top 10 second baseman of the 2023 season by Bleacher Report. They got Gleyber Torres ranked 10th. Yankee fans are gonna have fun with that one. You're gonna have a lot of Yankee fans fucking going nuts that Gleyber Torres is 10th on that list. You know how Yankee fans feel about Gleyber. No. Top 5, top 3 in the division, top 3 in the league. Whatever the hell they say about Gleyber. I think Gleyber's a good player, but I think it's probably time to move on from Gleyber Torres. I think you get something decent for him, and especially during a time where there's not a lot of offensive talents out there that's available, especially at the level of Gleyber Torres for a season.
No, there's not. That's why I think you can expect a really nice return.
It looks like the Rays are interested in moving Tyler Glass now, which could make a bit of sense. I could see why they will look to do that. The interesting
he's
team. Go ahead. Sorry, Dane.
No, Glasnow's got 1 year left.
Yeah.
Gosh, would you take him?
I mean, I don't think they're making a deal with the Yankees, to be honest.
That's true.
They could, but I don't think they're making a deal with the Yankees. But the team that, is pretty damn intriguing, I think, over the next couple of weeks you'll hear about, truly is Milwaukee. That's a team that makes a lot of sense. I know for a fact they're interested in dealing, like I said, Willie Adames. That's one of the names that's come out there already. They got apparently Woodruff they're willing to deal. I don't know much if they're gonna move Burn. He was hurt, yeah, but I think he'll be ready for the year potentially. But he's the guy I'm staying away from. I mean, you talk about somebody that's always injured. If you want to use the Cashman comment on that, he's probably going to be on the IL at some point, which the Yankees got to try to avoid a little bit. And then just speaking to who is currently on the team, what is Carlos Rodon going to come back and be? What is he going to look like when he comes back? Matt Blake made some pretty smart comments and was talking about his conditioning also, which I found to be pretty interesting that he brought that up, that he wasn't necessarily in the condition that they were hoping for upon his return. So maybe there's, a little something there with Rodon.
I think that there is. He looked noticeably thicker than he did in San Francisco last year. And he just wasn't the same on the mound. So I think that there could be something with weight that's not allowing him to move as well.
Or the back could be affecting the back also.
And I think that might be a big reason what happened to him this year.
No, yeah, that'll definitely be no doubt about it. Greg Hughes calls him Carl Rodano. I'll be honest with you guys. It's such a poor. I never got with that. And that's not sticking up for him at all. It just doesn't make sense. Carl Pavano didn't want to pitch. The dude had injuries over the minorest, stupidest things in the planet. There was even teammates that used to call him a bitch and stuff because he just wouldn't want to play. So I don't think that's the same case for Carlos Rodon. It's not even close. He's openly said it. I don't care if he said even if there was an issue that he was dealing with, he still felt the need to have to be out there.
Yes, they're two different mentalities.
100%, not even close.
Is going to at least take accountability and take the ball. Pavano was just a head case. I mean, he bruised his butt in the shower.
He was out for the year.
Yeah.
He was out for the season. The dude said he fell on his ass and it was bruised and he couldn't pitch a baseball for months. I'm like, it's just I think you really had to live through that time to understand how bad it was with Pavano because everybody was like, yeah, but what's wrong with him? And nobody knew.
No,
nobody knew. Everybody's like, well, I mean, he fell on his ass and, he's been out for 4 fucking months. So news is starting to come out about players being added. The Rays 21 seconds ago just added, it looks like 2 pitchers, a pitcher and an infielder. They have
a trade coming because they were full.
Well, it looks like they DFA 2 players also.
Oh,
so there could potentially be a trade there maybe.
Yeah.
We're waiting to hear what happens with the Yankees. The Nationals designated Dominic Smith for assignment. God, that also feels like a Yankee try.
Yeah.
Get the lefty. That's the lefty bat we get.
Oh, P, don't say that, please. Please don't say that.
But we're waiting to see what the Yankees do. Again, guys, that should be announced pretty soon. They got about 10 minutes to go. If they don't make any trades or anything like that, we'll see what happens. But I can't see the Yankees not protecting Augustin Ramirez. That would be shocking, in my opinion.
It would be. It would be completely
Where do we have him ranked on NYYU's 30 prospects? 8? 12th.
He's just behind Ben Rice.
So we're extremely high on him, and I would actually be very, very upset if the Yankees don't protect him. I don't see how they would, because I believe that somebody would try to keep him on their roster for a whole season.
Yeah,
you got to be sure if you don't protect somebody that they're not gonna keep him.
Yeah. And I just got a confirmation they are at 37, so they can protect 3 guys. And the other name that might be a possibility is Carson Coleman. Carson Coleman is a big-time relief pitcher that missed last year to Tommy Johns. It's a very Garrett Whitlock's type situation. Coleman has better stuff than Whitlock, but he is somebody that there's a good chance that he might get taken in the draft. So they may protect him.
Nice pick on that. Francis says Yankees just tweeted, so let's see what it was from the Yankees. The Yankees have added right-handed pitcher Clayton Beeter and catcher Augustine Ramirez to the 40-man roster. Great call, Dane, on Beeter and Augustine Ramirez being added to the 40-man. So that is indeed done. That is who Dane expected was going to be added. And bada bing, there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Those are your 2 guys, Beeter and Augustine Ramirez. Congratulations to Augustine Ramirez, by the way, because if you guys don't know that, for a young player being added to the 40-man roster is extremely important.
It is. And now that means that they have 6 catchers on the 40-man. So there's definitely 2 or 3 of those guys getting
Great
moved.
catch. That's Higgy, Wells, Rortvet, Narvaez, Augustine.
Yep.
And who? Is it 5 or 6?
It's
Trevino.
6.
Trevino. 6. You're right. I forgot about Trevino. Wow. Yeah. They're definitely gonna move a catcher or 2. They probably should move 2 of them, to be honest.
I think they might move 3 because I don't think they'll keep 2 for sure, maybe 3, because are they really going to keep 10% of the 40-man roster at catchers?
Yeah, that's insane. I would say, if I had to guess right now, Higgy or Narvaez. Right?
Yeah.
That's what you would think?
Yes.
Higgy, because Higgy's going to be the most expensive going into this season. And the oldest. And then, I think Narvaez is a guy that, out of all of those guys, I might put him slightly above Ben Rortvet as an overall player.
Yeah, I would too.
But I don't think I would put him over Augustine, Wells, or Trevino.
No.
Right? I wouldn't put him anywhere near that level. I think he's the guy that will most likely you could go ahead and move and you'll be okay.
Yeah, and plus they also still have Ben Rice, who is a catcher, first baseman. So I think that he being left-handed, he could be the reason why Rortvet is moved. And then they have Jesus Rodriguez, who is another catcher that's in high A. He's a utility guy, too. He plays 5 positions. He hit .310 this year, but he's a really good catcher. So they have more catchers in the lower levels so they can deal some of that upper level depth.
Interesting. Arson Boone with the super chat says, "Evening, fellas. My boss is off the rails right now." Kind of is a little bit, my guy. No doubt about it. Parker says, "It's my 11th birthday. I have 13 subs." Okay. Parker's 11th birthday. A couple of subbies. Okay. MLB owners unanimously voted to reject the Oakland Athletics' bid for relocation to Las Vegas. That's interesting. I thought they accepted it.
I thought they did too.
Yeah, I thought they accepted it. That's from Acevedo right now. I don't see anything updated on that. I thought they had accepted it already. I read earlier they accepted it.
Yeah, I thought I read that they did as well. I don't know where that's coming from, but
yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I
just don't know. Maybe it's new information or something, but I'm pretty sure it was that. Hayden says, "Pete, did you hear about the Jeff Passan tweet on Juan Soto? Also, John Morosi said Yankees are going after starting pitching." Yeah, we've covered all of that already, Hayden. If you wanted to go back, it'll be there for you. But it was we covered all of that already regarding Soto and everybody kind of now saying that the Yankees are the most logical team. Ruben says the Oakland mayor was doing a last-minute bid. It was reported recently the Oakland mayor was meeting with MLB. Okay, so maybe they rejected it. I'm not sure. Yep, Yankees farm. We just Carlos, we just put that out there about Beater and Augustine being added to the 40-man roster. So again, guys, we'll start summarizing everything here that we discussed today as we're about to hit the 2-hour mark that we had planned to do today from 4 to 6. So again, man, just to cover a couple of quick things we talked about, the whole Stanton Cashman situation. A lot of people are now talking about maybe Stanton trades, maybe he asked for a trade, and I think everybody's getting ahead of themselves. Dane, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'll get your opinion on this right after this. I don't think Brian Cashman was wrong. I just think Brian Cashman needs to be accountable across the board because it does make it come across as, why are you attacking Stanton? Yeah, we know he's bad, but what is the need to attack him and kind of shit on him? It's the same situation I brought up last year with Oswald Peraza when Aaron Boone went at him for no reason, but you don't go at Donaldson, Hicks, and all the other guys. I don't know. What is your take on that, Dane? I don't think this means that, there's a trade upcoming. I don't think it does anything with Yamamoto. I don't think it does anything with any of that.
I don't either. As we've talked about so many times, Stanton's not movable this winter unless they eat $80 million. Yep. So even if he asked for a trade, I don't think that you could get one done. And I don't think this will have any effect on Yamamoto either. Cashman needs to probably think about what he says a little bit more, but maybe Agreed. It was calculated, but he's just sounds like an idiot this offseason anyway. So
yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. We got a super chat from Zilla. Did the Yankees trade Canely? He's not on the 40-man. I have no clue. And I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't seen anything about that. I'm pretty sure that would have been pretty good news because he's under contract. Right. If you're actually looking at the Yankees 40-man roster on the website, it's actually not, I don't even think it's that updated. I think the other, I looked at it like last week and I don't think it was fully updated. Like they haven't touched it really. But I'm going to pull it up right now and take a look and see. 40-man. Yeah, I don't see Tommy Canely on the 40-man. I don't know why. But if they traded him, it wouldn't have been updated that quick either.
No. I think that was probably why everybody was saying the roster was at 37 instead of 38. That would make sense. And
he's not showing up because he ended the year on a 60-day IL. Did he? No. Did he end the year on a 60-day?
Yes, he did.
Then he wouldn't. Then it says at the bottom of it, while not officially part of the 40-man roster, players on a 60-day injured list, it says are included in the 40-man tab. So yeah, I really don't have an answer on why he's not showing up. I don't see him.
The only way he wouldn't be on there is if he retired, and we haven't heard that. So
yeah, I don't see Canely on there, but they did add. They've already added Augustine Ramirez and Clayton Beater. So you are right, Dane. Of course, it is Higgy, Narvaez, Ramirez, Rortvet, Trevino, and Wells. All of those guys are currently on the Yankees 40-man roster. So yeah, there's going to be some movement there. And again, if you look at the Yankees 40-man roster too real quickly, they still got Jake Bauers on there. So just going through it pretty quickly. They can have a lot of spaces opened up. They got Everson Pereira, who I think is a fair trade candidate. Estevan Florial, they might just non-tender. They may just end up eventually dumping him potentially.
They have a couple of pitchers that they can DFA before that. Nick Ramirez and then
100%. There's a lot of guys. I'm going to go through the whole thing real quick. Everson Pereira, we know potentially. Estevan Florial, Oswaldo Cabrera, Jake Bauers, Gleyber Torres could very well be moved. Oswald Peraza could be moved. LeMahieu potentially, you never know. For the catchers, we already said we think two of those guys. Greg Weissert could be moved. Lou Trevino is going to likely be off it unless the Yankees re-sign him. Clark Schmidt could be moved. Nick Ramirez, Andy Meschowitz, whatever his name is, he could be moved. Ron Marinaccio, John Loizaga, Matt Crook, Yoendris Gomez, Luis Heel. There's a lot of guys. And I think the Yankees are obviously going to keep Luis Heel, but these are names that could potentially be moved in the deal. Albert Abreu. There's a lot of guys on here that still have a very good chance of not being on the 40-man come opening day.
Yeah, and somebody, Victor mentioned Jared Cerna as somebody who is going to probably be taken.
You think so?
No, I
Yeah, I
do
don't think
not.
so either.
He finished in high A, and there's just no way that he would stick on somebody's 26-man roster for the whole year to keep him.
Yeah, unless somebody has watched him for a while and it's like, we're gonna dump him at second base at the major league level. I don't see that happening.
No,
I don't see that
don't
happening.
No, he's not. I would be very, very surprised if he got taken. I think the biggest guys that are going to be taken are probably guys like Matt Sauer.
Yeah.
Couple Barclay probably. That's so cool that she got.
Okay, I'm just gonna do the rest of the show like this. All right. If you guys didn't know, I'm really like 12 years old. I've never grown up. So I've never grown up at all. But anyway, if anybody missed that, that was the beautiful, lovely, wonderful fiance because we hit 20K. So she got me a 20K balloon. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. But Dane, any final words, observations, anything you want to throw out there to the fan base?
Yeah, I really think that we're going to get Yamamoto and Soto, and that makes me very happy.
That makes me happy, man. I wanna elbow drop. I want to do an elbow drop through a table so badly, man. I am very, very excited. I mean, look, man. You know, we cover this team all the damn time, man. Right? We cover this team all the time. Yep. So yeah, we do want to have something to be really excited about going into next year. And what better than Japanese sensation, Yamamoto, and a young, great talent that we've been begging the Yankees to get when it comes to guys like Harper, Machado, Seager, you've named all the names. To finally get that guy, and like I said before, Dane, maybe you agree with this or not. Somebody, actually it was Tats. Tats asked me, if they didn't get Soto, kind of how do they build that team? And I simply said, look, there are ways that you can go and get some guys, right? But here's the thing. The Yankees desperately need another star with Aaron Judge. Desperate, and there's not many names out there that make up that star. Juan Soto does.
Yeah, and again, that new core is something that the Yankees need, and to have Yamamoto, Soto lead that new core and also have Soto mentoring Dominguez, that bodes so well for the Yankees' future in the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Yep. Big Sexy Yankee says Michael K said that with the Padres owner passing, not only Soto traded, but the team will have a fire sale. He did mention that even a lot of the other players that have a no trade clause, they may want to be moved. So he said it could get very, very interesting on what they're gonna do and all that. That could be interesting.
Well, they're stuck with Xander and
those guys. I think
Machado,
even
I don't think they get moved.
I agree with that. I think again, your most logical guys are the ones that we've already mentioned: Soto, Cronenworth, Tatis potentially. I mean, damn. Fernando in the Bronx, bro. El Nino in the Bronx?
I'll take him 100%, but I want Soto first.
I want Soto too. Can we get both of them? Can we go full George? Can we have a full George moment?
Where do you play?
Come on down.
Where would you play Tatis?
I put Tatis in center field.
Really? Okay.
Hell yeah, the guy's one of the best defensive outfielders in baseball. He has great speed. He got long legs. He could extend very quickly. He could easily cover center field at Yankee Stadium.
Okay, so and then where's Dane's like, go?
I don't give a poop. Look, I love Dominguez. Don't get me wrong. We'll find a spot for Jason. Look, man. We'll find a spot for Jason. At the end of the day, if that's the case, and this kid comes back ready to go, and you still got him. You look at Stanton and go, hey, look, my guy, if you're not producing, you're not playing. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Open up DH for Judge, for Soto, and you throw Jason in left or center field. I mean, look, this is us having fun. But
yeah, guys, we're just shooting.
Yeah, please don't go Please don't go reporting, at Simonetti source said that they're not. Don't do that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that would be absolutely friggin' unreal. Acevedo says we just send Jason to San Diego. I mean, if that's the case, you get both of those guys. I'll send them to San Diego, no problem. I love Dominguez, but how do you not?
For both those two, send them.
Aaron Rodgers says, still believe in Yamamoto, Brugal, Isaki shots. Yes, it'll be Brugal and Saki all day long, every day, if that's the way, and that's who we get, man. That would be absolutely unbelievable to add both of those guys.
It would be.
But you never know. It'll be interesting over the next couple of weeks. And guys, like I said, we're going to have you guys covered. I do want to make a fun announcement real quick to give everybody a heads up. So, guys, as you know, this channel here, we've done a lot of fun stuff. Last year, we had a 24-hour stream that, thanks to Jeff and thanks to everybody involved, we just did an unbelievable thing for Operation Underground Railroad. That they called me. They were very, very thankful for the amount that we were able to give. Let me just look something up here. I want to make sure I get the dates correct. I think I already know 4th, 5th, 6th, and the 7th are the winter meetings. December 3rd through the 6th, I believe, that's the winter meetings. Yeah, the winter meetings. That's the one we're looking for. Yeah, my bad, guys. December, I think it's 3rd through the 6th or 3rd through the 7th. So this year, YouTube allows an option that I wasn't able to do last one because the charity that we went for was not involved with YouTube on that. We had to go about it a different route. But this year, what I'm planning on doing, and again, it is Christmas time, and there's a lot of kids out there in need. So Toys for Tots is a obvious, I know Bad Dog does Toys for Tots a lot. Toys for Tots is a big one that we always, if we could help with something, that's a great one to help to provide some sort of hope for kids that are less fortunate. And what we're going to do is we're going to go live every single day during the winter meetings for 4 hours. 100% of those donations will go to Toys for Tots. 100%. That is a donation button that YouTube allows, and they are a company that YouTube works with. That means there is no money YouTube takes. There is no money that goes directly to what we're doing. It is 100% dedicated to Toys for Tots. 4 hours each day. We're going to do that for 4 straight hours. Don't know the times yet, but again, winter meetings, typically afternoon is when people are in the lobby. There's conversations. So we're going to do that every single day at our winter meetings. I think it's the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. Well, I'll verify that and let that know, but I wanted to make that announcement today, guys. 4 hours each day. We will be here live. I'll do it like this type of setup here. We'll have Dane, we'll have Francis, we'll have everybody on the channel come on and hang out with us and hopefully have some news to discuss, news to break, maybe watch Juan Soto introduction together at the winter meetings. Who knows? But again, guys, your support is always welcomed. This is the greatest channel in the world. No doubt about it, guys. If there's any remaining news that is breaking today, something comes out, I'll be here to cover it. My mornings are going to be looking a little different over the next couple of weeks potentially, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. But other than that, Dane, anything you want to add?
No, thanks for having me on. And
of course, my guy.
I can't wait for the Toys for Tots streams. That's an awesome charity. And it's so wonderful that you guys have prioritized making that a part of our company every couple months. It's a really good thing.
No doubt about it. I'm happy that we can do it and help in.
Can't make a promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. Bought a new crib, that's a goddamn flex. Sign that check. Told them last year that I been up next. Can't take calls, but I send that text from way downtown.